The dead space corpse has lurched back to life early in the shape of the Callisto Protocol, though a true reboot may be emerging from the tomb next year. The haunting blood-streaked corridors and space zombie-slaying hallmarks, first established on the USG Shimura back in 2008, are recreated in this spiritual successor to the sci-fi survival horror series, which injects the gore with more awe than ever before thanks to some strikingly detailed splashes of blood and guts. Unfortunately, the inadequacies of the Callisto Protocol are just as obvious as the mutant dismemberment, which is now more vivid than ever. A approximately 8-hour carnage that is satisfyingly gory, but never nearly as wonderful as the series that inspired it, is produced by sporadic control irritations, unbalanced combat, and a general lack of creativity. Disaster has struck the Black Iron prison facility on Callisto's moon, and the inmates are revolting. Not only have they broken out of their cells and started a riot, but they have also been affected by an unknown virus that has turned them all into twisted, toxic Avengers. Unjustly imprisoned cargo pilot Jacob Lee must make his way through a crawl through a facility that has fallen into disrepair and been overtaken by lunatics from the moon in order to uncover the source of the local evil and escape the prison planet. Fortunately, the team at developer Striking Distance Studios has shown itself to be a masterful maker of creepy corridors. Rarely are any two passages ever the same, and each area is given a distinct sense of place. From the maintenance room decorated with dangling corpses that resemble prison guard pinatas to the frosted-over facilities that lie beyond the prison walls. The Boys' Karen Fukuhara plays his main ally Donnie Nakamura, while Josh Duhamel from the Transformers movies does a good job in the lead part. However, the visual direction and audio design are what really capture the desperation and discomfort of the pair's situation. The third-person camera is always focused on Jacob, giving you a clear view of the blood, a spatter that soaks his coveralls after each brutal encounter, the sweat sheen on his scalp in the humid laundry area, and the particularly icky sewerage that coats his body after he is made to wade through waste management. Everything is visibly thick and disgusting, reinforced by unnerving scrapes and nauseating squelches in the shadows all around you. And while it's become a frequent practice for developers to hide the loading of new regions with the use of small gaps in the landscape for players to squeeze through, here they instead strengthen the atmosphere of dread rather than become a burden. Jacob winced on screen as he made his way through the filthy pus boil and tendril-covered caves of Black Iron's lowest levels, mirroring my own uneasy expressions. I was imprisoned in the foul prison of the Callisto Protocol, where I was at the height of my vulnerability. The Callisto Protocol takes the audience on an intensely evocative and action-packed tour to a magnificent slaughterhouse in a faraway part of space. Its primarily linear layout minimizes retracing while trimming the fat, leaving enough of bone and gristle for ripping and tearing, while there is plenty of murderous fun to be had using enormous grinding mechanisms to make mulch out of mutants. Such cheap thrills come at the high cost of puncturing any tension and dread at the incredible art and audio design work so hard to invoke. It also betrays its survival horror roots by frequently tipping the balance of power too far in favor of the player. In addition to the intense melee combat, there is the overarching impression that not much new is being done here, and there is sadly little to do after completing the story. The Callisto Protocol is thus a satisfyingly gruesome spiritual successor to the Dead Space series, but ultimately it's more of an eye-catching contemporary copy than a terrifying new mutation.